Hello, listeners, and welcome back to ND 5.18. And as always, I'm your host, Ender. And yeah, I'm back. I know the turnaround on this one was relatively quicker than the last one. So I am actually serious about trying to get back into this, guys. And to start us off is the winner playstyle spotlighting. Tagline: congratulations, you won again. And this may be triggering, I guess would be the wording, but it is what it is. So, what is a win deck? I know, really weird way to describe it, but that's all I got for now. First off, we all like to win, but for a winner, it is the only thing that matters. It is their first, second, and third priority, and that can make it very unfun to play with them. But this is a game with the goal of there being one winner. And my opinion on participation points is right there in that line right there. Okay, participation points don't matter. They are not real. Like, you may want to spend time with your friends, that's one thing, but just sitting there, having a good old time, somebody's trying to win here, people. And if it isn't you, I would bet money that one of the other people at the table is. So keep that in mind. 1 in 4 people, they got the winner mentality, so be aware. Features of the win. Number 1, fast mana. The goal is to get set up as fast as possible. Number 2, redundancy. Consistency is the name of the game, and you need multiple parts to perform the same function, like A to B. Results. The winner is looking for the most efficient deck that guarantees victory. That means that yes, they will switch decks multiple times because their main goal is to find the best deck to get them the easiest and, in their opinion, the best win. Now, to showcase this, I have Aetherflux Reservoir, a 4 mana artifact that states whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you've cast this turn. Pay 50 life. Aetherflux Reservoir deals 50 damage to target creature or player. This is a win condition, people, and is one of every life gain deck, every deck that focuses on life gain should include. This will win you the game. This will end a game. And for the winner, they're not trying to sit there for 2 hours in the same game. They're trying to, play as many games as possible. And you know how you do that? By winning, or at least forcing a game to an end as fast as possible, while at the same time still showing why you are the winner. Now, it's time for the types of winners. I'm going to slow this down for y'all now. Number 1 is the sore winner. Fun that is proportional to them being ahead, and if someone's trying to stop them, they stop having fun. This is that person that is like, too many counter spells, too many board wipes. If you play MTGO, these are people that instill like rules in their taglines, saying no combos, no counter spells, no fast mana. They're just trying to win the game and have fun for themselves. It's not about what you're doing, it's about what they are doing to you that makes them happy. Then there's the sneaky winner. They have a streamlined, fast deck that can sometimes be expensive in ways that you didn't see coming. But they slow play on purpose to make themselves look like less of a threat. Now this by itself, it's not a bad thing. Like, sometimes I believe every pod should have a sneaky winner. But I believe that once their playstyle is known, people should keep an eye on them. The thing is, the sneaky winner can turn into another playstyle that I'll be showcasing. So it's a very thin line to walk. And then there's the community winner. I think everybody should love the community winner. They are a joy to game with. They'll intentionally lose games. Like, they won't play their deck to its optimal level on purpose just to keep the win-loss ratio kind of even. But they won't go hard at all times. Now, to be a winner and just be a good player, attitude is key. I'm going to read this line from line here, okay, people? This takes some social awareness, but as you are interrupted/interacted with in the game, do you go from happy and joking to snide commentary, or no longer wanting to talk? You need to examine yourself if you do this. And if you're not sure if you do, ask the people that you play with. If you have a normal pod or a group of friends that you play with, talk to them and ask, hey, do I act like this in the game? And be ready for criticism. I know it's hard for people to take it, but please be open-minded. Okay, people, time to address some elephants in the room. Questions to ask. How fast are you trying to win? Turn 4, turn 7, turn 9, turn 12, 15 and above. Talk about it. Number 2, do you want to play solitaire or interact? Do you want me to watch you play the game, or are you trying to have a mutual game? You'd be surprised. Some people say, oh yeah, I want interaction, when really they just want you to watch them play big creatures, battle cruiser magic. Or they just want to showcase this really cool interaction and they don't want you to stop it, even though if they do it, they win. And number 3, do you want or need to win? And a lot of people do not know the difference. So bear with them. Okay, I think I done gone into the whole social construct of the winner. So now let's actually talk about how to be a better one. Most efficient. The combo is the go-to way to win a game quickly. A lot of people consider it unfun. Some people just want you to hit each other with creatures. Some people want you to respect their alternate win conditions. And this combo, most efficient way to do it. Now, there are combos in a plethora of ways and all the colors. It can be just artifacts. Right here I have 2 examples. Number 1, Resplendent Mentor. Also, by the way, some combos are not, definitive. They don't actually win you the game. They just put you in a state where it's almost impossible for someone to beat you. If you're playing a combo like that, which is what the first example here is, be prepared for people to not concede. Conceding is not the norm anymore, people. A lot of people take it as a personal hit to their pride to concede. But now, let's get to it. The first combo I'm showing you, Resplendent Mentor, is a 5-mana creature that states white creatures you control have tap it, you gain 1 life. The second part is Famished Paladin, a 2-mana white creature that says Famished Paladin doesn't untap during your untap step. Whenever you gain life, untap Famished Paladin. This, ladies, gentlemen, and all those underneath the sun, is an infinite life combo on 2 cards. This does not mean you win the game. It just means that it puts your life at a level where combat damage, outside of commander damage, no longer is a threat to you. Now, the second combo shown, 2-part artifact. First part of it is called Painter's Servant. As an artifact creature, it says as Painter's Servant comes into play, choose a color. All cards that aren't in play, spells, and permanents are the chosen color in addition to its other colors. Well, to their other colors. The second card is Grindstone. It is a 1-mana artifact stating tap 3, tap it. Target player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. If both cards share a color, repeat this process. Ladies, gentlemen, and all those underneath the sun, yet again, infinite combo, it will mill out your opponent. Okay, this is a win condition because it eliminates one person that you would have to do it to all three of your opponents. Now, let's move over to the one-shots. These are the best for closing out a game if you cared about creatures, But I would like to show you a few little tricky ones in there as well. Okay. I'm sorry, the second line got me. Sending someone to the next game is competitively the right thing to do. And Voltron is not the only way to one-shot someone. Yeah. I hope you guys are actually reading these lines because, man, I got some zingers in here. Because the best form of removal is player removal. Now, some examples of this are, we have this beautiful young lady, Vraska of the Unseen, a 5-mana legendary planeswalker. +1 ability, until your next turn, whenever a creature deals combat damage to Vraska the Unseen, destroy that creature. Good protection. Her -3, destroy target 9-land permanent. Okay, removal of all types. But the -7 is the one-shot. Create 3 1/1 black assassin creature tokens with, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. That's a wonderful ultimate right there. Especially if you have some token doubling effects. Chef's kiss. Now, we have a one-shot in a card called Hatred, a 5-mana black instant that states, pay X life. Target creature gets +X/+0 until end of turn. Yes, you can take yourself out the game to make sure one person in particular does not win. Petty? Yes. One shot? Absolutely. Then there is Kediss, Emberclaw Familiar, a 2-mana red creature that states, whenever a commander you control deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent. Commander damage, across the board, one shot, everybody. Great win condition. Okay. And the last stop on the one-shot express is Xenagos, God of Revels, a 5-mana red and green legendary enchantment creature. Has indestructible. As long as your devotion to red and green is less than 7, Xenagos isn't a creature. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains haste and gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is that creature's power. You slap this in any red and green deck with big creatures that just want to beat face, you have one-shot potential, especially if this is not your commander. So you can use that little pump effect on your commander and send some people to the Shadow Realm. Oh, wrong game. To the graveyard. Okay. Now it is time to fuel the win. Infinite mana is the name of the game, people. It is a fundamental part of most winners' game plans, and it's available in every color. The other one is self-mill, and there's a combo in the second column that's notorious. So if you see any part of this, just know your game is going to be real quick and not fun. But to read the cards, we have Devoted Druid, a 2-mana green creature. States we can tap for a green mana. Put a -1/-1 counter on Devoted Druid, untap it. The card directly below it is a white 2-drop that's named Vizier of Remedies. It states, if one or more -1/-1 counters will be put on a creature you control, that many -1/-1 counters -1 are put on instead. You see this, people? This is a 2-card infinite mana generation combo. Now, let's get to that notorious combo. The first card, Thassa's Oracle, or called Thoracle in the community. 2 blue is the mana cost. Just now it's a mouthful of text box. So, when Thassa's Oracle enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is your devotion to blue. Now, devotion is the 2 color pips in a permanence, like a mana cost, mana value. Put up to 1 of them on top of your library and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. Seems pretty simple, right? Now let's read that second card. That second card is named Demonic Consultation. 1 mana black instant, which means yes, they can combo out instant speed. Name a card. Remove the top 6 cards of your library from the game. Then reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal the name card. Put that card into your hand and remove all other cards revealed this way from the game. Now, you may be wondering, how is this a combo, right? So, as long as they can generate 2 blue, 1 black, right? They can play Thassa's Oracle with stability on the stack, play Demonic Consultation, name a card that is not in the deck at all, right? And then they'll just keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going until their entire deck is exiled, and then Thassa's Oracle with the Oracle's ability to resolve, resulting in the 2 pips being greater than their library, and they win the game. There you go. Short, sweet, to the point. It's not a fun play pattern, but it is a very clear combo finisher. Now, this next combo is for those of you that like combat damage, but you don't have all that time to really grind it out. This card, called the Reaver Cleaver, a 3 mana red legendary artifact equipment that states equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has trample. And whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, create that many treasure tokens. Equip costs 3. Really fun card. Really good card. I recommend this if you are a creature damage red deck. But here's the kicker. The next card is Aggravated Assault, a 3 mana red enchantment that states pay 3 and 2 red, which is 5. Untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase, followed by an additional main phase. Play this ability only anytime you could play a sorcery. Do you see the infinite combo? It's infinite combat steps, which is a great finisher. And honestly, I would love to see it in action. I haven't had it done to me, and I haven't done it to anybody, but man, that is goals. Well, party people, it is now time for risk assessment. The strengths are first, and they are: the win is the fastest and most cohesive playstyle. 2, a learning experience for the player and the opponent. I mean, there's only so many times you can get your butt kicked before you realize, you know what, I don't like that. Number 3, the sense of satisfaction from your deck running smoothly is immaculate. And that's also part of the reason why the winner creates the hater. Now, weaknesses. Breed some of the most toxic players to encounter, i.e. hate. Number 2, can warp your views on other playstyles, archetypes, and card choice. You start becoming extra harsh and kind of, in my experience, I've met people that are very disingenuous when they see people play a certain way. And finally, the A to B mindset can cause fatal flaws that can be exploited, i.e. your failure to account for interaction or removal in your playstyle. Or you might just miss out on something very clear if you took a more objective point of view and took a step back. Tips and advice. The win is the cause of the hater playstyle, so be aware that you're not making one in your play group. Number 2, leave the attitude at home, people. Come and have a good game. Yes, even if you do want to win the game in a relatively short time, understand that, there's an ebb and flow to things. Be a community winner, please. Number 3, try some 60 card formats and tournaments. Like, if you want to be competitive, there are actual formats, and they even make CDH for that. Go play with them sometime. You don't always have to take it out or pub stomp, as they say. And here are 3 cards that, if you are a winner, they will speak to you. And they are Marchesa, the Black Rose, a 4 mana Grixis, or I can't remember what the Streets of New Capenna name for her was. My bad. The Maestros. Their colors. She has Dethrone, which states whenever this creature attacks a player with the most life or tied for the most life, put a +1/+1 counter on it. She also states other creatures you control have Dethrone. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, return that card to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. I've played against someone that made this so broken. His entire game plan was, I'm going to manipulate the stack, and he could interact with you whenever you pass some priority, and he always has something to do. This is one of the most competitive commanders I've ever played against. If you don't see it, trust me. Like, if you put some time into it, you will see how strong she is. Number 2, the Howling Abomination. Now, this is a Universes Within card from Blanca from the Street Fighter Secret Lair. It is a 5 mana red and green legendary creature, and it states it has haste. The Howling Abomination has trample as long as you've cast 3 or more spells this turn. Yes, this is a Gruul Spellslinger. Whenever the Howling Abomination becomes the target of a spell, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn and deals 2 damage to each opponent. I know, right? Magnificent. And finally, we have a 4 mana. I do not remember how to say this 4 color combination, so I'm going to say green, white, blue, black. And Latraxa Praetor's Voice, a legendary creature, Angel Horror, that is 4/4. She has flying, vigilance, death touch, and lifelink. She states at the beginning of your end step, proliferate. Proliferate means choose any number of permanents and or players, then give each another counter of each kind already there. She was one of the very first commander precon like leaders ever made. She is extremely strong and has been in the top 10 like of legendary creatures for, I want to say, as long as since she's been printed, honestly, which has been years, at least 10 years. She is immaculate. Do not sleep on her. Well, listeners, this brings us to the end of another Playstyle Spotlighting. Thank you for tuning in here at Indy 5.18. And as always, I have been your host, Ender. Please remember to live your best life and be well. And I'll see you next time on whatever video comes up. Good night, everybody.